I love my Vessi running shoes. I wear them all the time. I was out for a walk and I discovered the sole is peeling off. So I contacted customer service and guess what happened? They sent me a new pair right away and we are gonna open them right now. I forgot how cute the packaging is. Rain or shine, adventure awaits, which I completely agree with. Having wet feet sucks. Welcome to the Dry Socks Club. And here are my brand new Vessi shoes. So I only had this pair of Vessis, which is the Vessi Everyday, for 4.5 months before it started coming apart. The back came apart first, and then I've been wearing them still, and the front is coming apart. In order to fill out like the form, which was really easy all online, I just had to look at the tag that's inside. There's a little tag that's attached to the insole that has a product number on it that they wanted. So that was really easy to do. It's tiny, but it was easy to do. This was my first pair of Vessis and I loved them so much that after about 6 or 7 months, I ordered another pair. Not because they were no longer waterproof, but because I really wore down the sole. And just for reference, I walk around 10 to 15,000 steps a day. That's what it looks like right out of the box. You can see how much wear there is on the older pair. As far as the fabric is concerned, it's this woven fabric, which is awesome. I do find that when the shoes arrive, they are tight. I wear a size 5. The Everyday has a size 5, which is why I have not been able to buy any of the other styles because they don't start at size 5. Why? Why Vessi? Make them all in size 5. What I found to be super helpful when I first started wearing the shoes is to not go for long distances just because of how tight I found them. You might not find them tight. I'm a true size 5, so I was surprised about that. So I would actually put on a pair of socks and go for a walk, and then halfway through the walk, my foot would start to feel like really constricted. So I would take off the sock and that just gave it a little bit more room for like my toes to spread out. And I just found it to be more comfortable. And I would do that for like probably about 2 weeks, which is crazy because a normal pair of running shoes, I would never do that for. So that for me, that's a little bit annoying, but the payoff of having dry feet for me makes it all worth it. My feet sweat in these. They say they're breathable. And if you don't have sweaty feet, it's not an issue. But this pair I wore like all summer without any socks. So I had to wash them often because they stunk. You'll notice that there's like quite a bit of like visual damage along the sole. And that is because I put them directly into the washing machine. I didn't really read the instructions to see if that's what you were supposed to do or not. I just did it, and I probably was washing them like once a week. Sometimes I would take the insoles out and just wash those. So the actual insoles are like, they're a bit of a mess, like they're falling apart. And I think that is just customer error. I have read that they don't have great insoles, but for me, I think I overwashed them and it looks like something has chewed on the sole. If you look at these pretty close up, you will notice that they are gray, but they are really dirty, even though they've been washed a lot. So I did find that there came a point when the gray, even with washing, even with detergent, even with some scrubbing, held onto the dirt. And when I take my dog for a walk, one thing that I noticed about the Vessis is they do not dry quickly. So if they're soaking wet and I leave them just in the house and I'm not trying to like actively dry them, when I put them on later, they're still gonna be wet and then they're just gonna be like kind of damp and cold on your feet. Comparing the older black ones to the older gray ones, which have never been washed, these have never gone into the washing machine, you'll notice that there's still quite a bit of wear and tear around like the sole, but it doesn't look like it was chewed on by an animal. And then this is how it looks new. So totally pristine. There are like kind of a couple of lines in the sole. I don't know if you can see that. I would never wear Vessis if I'm actively working out. So if I was going for a run, doing a weight training session, jumping rope, which I do, I would wear them if I was just like casually shooting hoops or if I was playing Frisbee with friends, not ultimate Frisbee, just like Frisbee in the park. They have no arch support, which for me isn't a problem, but definitely something to consider. Like they're completely flat on the inside. The cushioning is nice for me. A larger person that weighs quite a bit would notice that it compresses pretty quickly. So consider putting like an insert or an insole in there. Each of the pairs of Vessis for me did not last a year. And I do not expect shoes that I'm wearing every day for 7 kilometers a day to last a full year. I think that's asking a lot of a shoe. So even though they are pricey, they're $135 for me here in Canada when I purchased them. This particular style, the Everyday, $135. I cannot see myself ever not having a pair of Vessis. I love them so much. Vessi, I really wish that you would make the other styles in a size 5. Now, I don't have the same kind of problem that my husband has. Let me show you one of his running shoes. Every time I'm out with my husband for a walk, he is super jealous that these came in a size 5 because they do not come in his size of 15. That's crazy. So I contacted Vessi and asked if they would be making any size 15s, and they got back to me really quickly and said no, because honestly, how many people have a size 15 foot? Here is the insole, so you can see that it actually like shapes to the foot, and it's quite gross and dirty. I did not clean it for you. If I put the two side by side, they're pretty, like they are pretty thin. So thin, no arch support. And the actual like shoe itself, now that there's no insole in it, if I just push, it feels like, the car outside is really loud. It feels like you're just walking on something really hard. Like that wouldn't be comfortable at all. It's definitely not non-slip. So if you're in a slippery environment, like if you're a nurse, I wouldn't recommend this. You're gonna kind of have to decide. My raving review, don't let that influence you in terms of whether or not you should buy these shoes. It should be a factor in your research. I'm not an affiliate. They just give this to you in the box and you can scan the QR code and share it with friends and family. And for every $100 that somebody spends on Vessi, you get $20 off. So if like 5, 6 of you use the referral code, then I get a free pair of Vessi. But I didn't have to do anything for that. Like if you buy a pair of Vessi, you will get this little postcard and you will get the QR code and you will get the referral code. Vessi did not give me any of these shoes. I wish.